The human soldier who defied alien physics. The sky was calm, the sun just starting to set, painting the clouds in shades of orange and red. Captain Ryland stood on the hill overlooking the city, his heart heavy with worry. He felt that something was wrong, an uneasy feeling he could not shake. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the city, darker than any cloud he had ever seen. People looked up, shielding their eyes, pointing in shock and fear. Massive ships, larger than anything humans had built, entered the atmosphere, moving silently but with terrifying speed. The ground trembled as they passed, buildings shook, and car alarms rang across the city. Ryland's soldiers scrambled to their positions, weapons in hand, fear and adrenaline mixing in their veins. But their guns seemed meaningless. The alien ships glowed with strange energy, bullets bouncing off invisible shields. Ryland's squad radio crackled with panic. "They are everywhere. We can't stop them," one soldier shouted. His voice was filled with terror. Matching the fear in Ryland's chest, explosions erupted as the aliens fired beams of energy that tore through the city streets. Smoke rose in thick clouds. People ran screaming in all directions. The air was filled with a strange humming sound, low and powerful, vibrating in Ryland's bones. Despite the chaos, Ryland noticed something unusual. The aliens did not move like anything humans knew. Their ships tilted and twisted in impossible ways. Gravity seemed to bend around them, and their weapons moved faster than human eyes could follow. He realized that fighting them with normal tactics would not work. This was not just an invasion. It was a test of human limits. He gave quick orders to his squad. Fall back to the safe zone. Cover civilians. Stay alive. His voice was calm but firm, trying to keep control in the storm of terror. They ran through alleys and broken streets, dodging alien fire and falling debris. The city was a battlefield. But Ryland's mind was focused on one question. How could humans survive against beings who did not obey the rules of physics? As they moved, Ryland's eyes caught a strange sight. One alien ship had crashed into a building. Smoke rising from the wreck, he motioned his squad to stay back. Curiosity and fear fighting inside him, he approached cautiously, noticing symbols and lights on the alien hull, strange patterns that seemed to move and shift as he watched. His heart pounded, but he could not turn away. Inside the ship, the air was thick and heavy, glowing with a soft blue light. Strange machines hovered, pulsing with energy. Ryland touched one carefully and felt a shock that made his whole body tingle. This was no ordinary technology. It did not follow Earth's rules. Time seemed to move differently near the device, and gravity shifted under his hands. He pulled back quickly, realizing he had found something dangerous but powerful. A sudden noise made him spin around. Alien soldiers had noticed him. Their bodies were sleek, shiny, and unlike anything human, they moved too fast, almost like they were teleporting. Ryland fired his gun, but it had little effect. He ducked behind the metal console, heart racing, planning his escape. Using shadows and quick movements, he managed to slip out of the ship, carrying a small glowing artifact he had grabbed. Outside, the city was in flames, and human soldiers were falling one by one. Ryland ran through the chaos, keeping the alien artifact close. He had no idea what it did, but he knew it was important. Maybe it was the key to fighting back. He found a group of civilians trapped in a collapsed building. Using his strength and quick thinking, he pulled them out, keeping them safe from alien patrols. Ryland's mind raced. He had seen enough to know humans could not fight this enemy head-on. They were stronger, faster, and smarter. But maybe, just maybe, humans had something aliens did not: ingenuity, courage, and the will to survive. The sun disappeared completely, darkness covering the city. broken by the lights of alien ships and human fires. Rylan looked at the glowing artifact in his hand, hope and fear battling inside him. As night fell, the city was silent except for distant explosions and the hum of alien energy. Rylan knew this was only the beginning. The human race faced an enemy beyond imagination, and the world would never be the same. But one man, a soldier who refused to give up, had found the first clue to survival. And somewhere in the shadows, alien eyes watched, calculating, learning, and waiting. Rylan took a deep breath, gripping his gun tightly. He looked at the burning city and promised himself he would find a way to fight back, to protect humanity, no matter the cost. This was the arrival of the alien threat. But it would not be the end of the human spirit. Night had settled over the ruined city, the air heavy with smoke and the smell of burning metal. Captain Rylan crouched behind a shattered wall, his eyes scanning the dark streets for movement. The alien ships had retreated for now, but he knew they were only waiting for humans to make mistakes. In his hand, he held the small glowing artifact he had stolen from the crashed ship. Its light pulsed like a heartbeat, warm and alive, almost as if it had a mind of its own. Rylan had never seen technology like this. Nothing in human history came close. The artifact seemed to bend reality. Small objects around it flickered, time itself twisting in tiny ways. When he dropped a pebble near it, the stone floated for a moment before falling. Defying gravity, defying logic, Rylan felt a shiver of excitement and fear. Could this be the key to fighting the aliens? He knew he had to learn its secrets, even if it meant risking his life, moving cautiously. He returned to the abandoned military lab where he often hid after battles. The lab was dark and quiet, computers flickering with emergency power. He set the artifact on a table and studied it closely. Its surface shimmered, revealing patterns that seemed to shift when he blinked. Strange energy pulsed from it, filling the room with warmth and light. It hummed softly, almost like it was alive, communicating in a language he could not understand. Rylan touched it again, and a sudden wave of energy shot through his hand. Making him stumble, colors swirled in the air around him, walls bending slightly as if the room had become liquid. He realized then that the artifact manipulated more than just gravity. It affected time, space, and even perception. Every movement he made seemed to echo before it happened. Like reality itself was lagging behind, he stepped back, heart racing, knowing he held something far beyond human comprehension. Hours passed as Rylan experimented quietly, jotting notes and testing small objects. He learned that he could bend light slightly, making shadows move differently. He could make tiny objects float, and even small bursts of energy could move faster than bullets. Each discovery filled him with awe, but also fear. The aliens were not just advanced. They had evolved beyond the rules humans lived by. And if they noticed that he understood even a fraction of their power, he might not survive the night. Suddenly, a sound made him freeze. The lab door creaking open with a slow, deliberate motion. Rylan held his breath, hand on his pistol, peering into the shadows. He saw an alien soldier, taller than a human, sleek and black, with glowing blue eyes that scanned the room. The creature moved silently, as if the floor did not exist beneath it. Rylan realized that hiding would not be enough. He had to act quickly or die, thinking fast. He grabbed the artifact and focused, feeling its energy respond to his will. He pressed it against the wall, and a small shield of energy sprang up. Distorting the alien's view, the creature paused, confused, and Rylan seized the moment to dash out a side exit. Heart pounding, running through empty corridors. His mind raced. He had only scratched the surface of what the artifact could do, but he knew that mastering it was humanity's only chance. Outside, The city was quiet under the night sky. But Ryland sensed something, a faint vibration in the ground. Alien energy moving in patterns he could feel but not see. He realized that the aliens were searching, scanning for anything unusual. For the first time, he understood the scale of the threat. They did not just fight humans. They predicted, calculated, and adapted to everything. Yet, he also realized something else. Humans could do the same, using creativity, courage, and intelligence. Ryland found a hidden bunker under the ruins of a collapsed building. His new lab for experiments, he carefully examined the artifact, trying to communicate with it, pushing his limits. He started to bend small fragments of metal, moving them in impossible loops. The more he experimented, the more he understood that alien physics was not just a weapon. It was a puzzle, a code that could be broken if someone dared to think differently. Hours turned into a night of tense work, every sound outside making Ryland jump. The hum of distant alien ships reminded him that he was never truly safe, yet each small success filled him with hope. He realized that the artifact could become a weapon, but also a tool for survival if he could learn to control it. Humans might not only fight back but even win. Just as dawn began to touch the horizon, a loud crash shook the bunker. The artifact pulsed violently, warning him of danger. Ryland's heart raced. As outside the reinforced door, alien machines began to dig and break through. They had found him. Somehow, they sensed the artifact's power. He gripped the artifact tightly, ready to face what was coming, knowing that what he had discovered tonight could change the fate of the human race. And in that moment, Ryland made a silent vow. He would master alien physics, uncover every secret, and use it to defend humanity. No matter the cost, no matter the danger, the aliens might think they controlled the universe, but they had never met a human soldier willing to defy the rules of reality itself. The city was a smoldering ruin, smoke curling into the sky like black fingers. Captain Ryland moved cautiously through the debris, the alien artifact secured in his pack. He knew that every step could be his last. Alien patrols were everywhere, moving with impossible speed. The once familiar streets were now a maze of shattered buildings, fires, and overturned cars. Each corner hid danger. Each shadow could conceal an enemy. Ryland reached the makeshift command center, where a few human soldiers had gathered. Their eyes were wide with fear, but also with hope when they saw him. "Captain," one soldier whispered, "we tried, but their weapons, they're too strong." Ryland nodded grimly, understanding their despair. He examined reports from the field, noticing patterns in the alien attacks. They moved unpredictably, ending physics, teleporting in small bursts, and firing weapons that shattered walls without touching the ground. Despite the odds, Ryland had an idea. He gathered a small squad, choosing soldiers who were brave and quick. He explained his plan quietly. "We cannot fight them directly, but we can strike their supply lines, sabotage their energy nodes. We hit them where they are weak. And maybe, just maybe, we survive." The soldiers nodded, trust and fear mixing in their eyes. They had seen what the aliens could do. But they also believed in Ryland. They moved under the cover of night, slipping through alleyways and abandoned streets. The artifact in Ryland's pack pulsed softly, almost like it knew where to guide him. Small drones patrolled the streets, hovering silently, scanning for heat or movement. Ryland used the artifact to bend shadows around them, making them invisible to the alien eyes. Every second was tense, the quiet of the night broken by distant explosions and the hum of alien energy. Reaching the first target, a strange alien energy node glowing blue and pulsating. Ryland set charges carefully. His hands shook slightly, knowing one mistake could alert the aliens to their presence. A node powered the alien weapons that had destroyed the city. Destroying it might give humans a fighting chance, but as they prepared to leave, a sudden alarm rang out, piercing and harsh. The aliens had detected them. Chaos erupted instantly. Beams of energy shot through the night, tearing through walls and streets. The squad fired back, using pistols and rifles that seemed powerless against the alien shields. Soldiers fell, screaming, as alien patrols moved impossibly fast. Rylan grabbed the artifact, focusing, bending light and energy in a small bubble around them. It worked just enough to hide their movement, giving them precious seconds. They ran through the ruined streets, dodging energy blasts and debris. The squad lost 2 more soldiers, their bodies disappearing under alien fire. Rylan's heart ached. But he knew he had to keep moving. The artifact pulsed with power, and Rylan began to understand its limits. He could bend energy slightly, shield himself and a few others, but not much more. The aliens adapted quickly. Every trick had to be faster than the last. Reaching the second energy node, Rylan set the charges quickly. He felt the artifact guiding him. Bending the strange alien physics in small but effective ways, they detonated the node, sending a shockwave that knocked patrols off balance. Some humans cheered. But the victory was brief. Alien reinforcements arrived immediately, larger and more dangerous than before. Their bodies shimmered and warped, moving in ways that made them almost invisible. Rylan and the remaining soldiers fought desperately. Using shadows, cover, and small energy distortions, they managed to retreat to a safer building, but the cost was heavy. Half the squad was lost, and the survivors were exhausted. Their faces were pale, eyes wide from shock and fear. Rylan looked at the artifact, realizing that understanding alien physics was only the beginning. Survival required courage, intelligence, and quick thinking. From the rooftop, he saw the city in chaos, flames reflecting on broken glass. The humans were losing, but Rylan's small strikes had shown that the aliens were not invincible. There was hope, a small spark in the darkness, but hope came with danger for every success. The aliens seemed to learn, adapting, calculating, planning their next move, and somewhere in the shadows, a larger alien force gathered, waiting to strike back harder. Rylan called the survivors together. "We've learned their patterns, we know their strengths, but they underestimate humans. Our people can survive, we can fight back, but we must be smart, fast, and bold." The soldiers nodded, drawing strength from his words. Determination replacing fear. The night was long, the air thick with smoke and the hum of alien energy. But Rylan's mind raced, planning the next move, dreaming of ways to use the artifact more, bending alien physics against them. As dawn approached, a distant roar shook the city, a massive alien machine moving through the streets. Rylan's heart sank. This was only the beginning. The first strike had cost lives, but the war was far from over. Humans had lost much. But Rylan understood something crucial. The aliens were powerful, but they were not perfect. Every pattern, every movement could be studied. Every weakness could be exploited. And with courage and the artifact, humans might have a chance. Rylan tightened his grip on the artifact. Looking at the rising sun over the ruined city, he promised silently to the fallen soldiers, to the people of Earth, that he would fight. He would learn. He would survive. And one day, humans would turn the tide against the alien threat. The first strike had been costly, but it had also revealed the truth. Humans could fight, even against the impossible. After the first strike, the city lay in silence, broken only by the distant hum of alien ships and the crackle of fires. Captain Rylan moved cautiously through the rubble, artifact clutched tightly in his hand. He knew the aliens would be back, stronger, smarter, and faster than before. The surviving soldiers followed him silently, exhausted but determined. Every step was heavy with tension. Every shadow could hide death. Rylan led them to a hidden bunker beneath the remains of an old factory, its walls thick with concrete and steel. This would be their lab, their secret base for survival and learning. The bunker smelled of dust and rust, and the faint sound of dripping water echoed in the darkness. Rylan placed the glowing artifact on a metal table, its light casting strange shadows on the walls. He studied it carefully, tracing the patterns and symbols that shifted and shimmered, almost alive. Hours passed as he experimented, cautiously moving small objects near the artifact. Gravity bent slightly. Metal fragments floated and twisted in the air. Light curved in impossible ways, and time seemed to lag for brief moments. Ryland's mind raced. He realized that this technology did not just manipulate matter, it warped reality itself, breaking the laws humans had taken for granted for centuries. He sketched every observation, jotting down notes quickly, aware that time was precious. The aliens were not far, and every second he wasted could be a mistake. He tested a small energy pulse, sending it toward a steel plate, and the plate seemed to ripple, bending as if it were water. Ryland's eyes widened, understanding that he could use this to shield humans from alien attacks, or even redirect energy against them. Suddenly, a sharp vibration ran through the bunker. The artifact pulsing violently, Ryland froze, knowing that it was warning him. Alien sensors were near. He signaled the soldiers to hide, heart pounding as shadows moved along the bunker walls. The aliens had found traces of the artifact's energy. They were coming, methodical and relentless, calculating every move humans made. Ryland focused, concentrating on the artifact, and discovered something incredible. He could create small fields of distorted energy, bending light and gravity in pockets of space. He hid behind a wall as an alien drone entered the bunker, scanning the area with glowing blue sensors. Ryland activated a small energy bubble, and the drone passed right through, oblivious to their presence. His heart leapt with hope, but he knew this was only a small victory. As night deepened, Ryland continued testing, pushing the artifact further. He bent small fragments of metal into loops and spirals, made sparks of energy hover and knitter. He felt a connection with it, as if it responded to his thoughts. But every experiment carried risk. One wrong move could trigger an explosion, alerting aliens to their position, or worse, destabilize the artifact and destroy them all. Hours turned into tense work, punctuated by distant explosions outside as alien patrols searched the city. Ryland discovered that energy from the artifact could be directed, forming beams or shields. If he could scale this up, humans might have a weapon capable of challenging the aliens. Yet the technology was delicate, unpredictable, and unlike anything a human had ever known, mastering it would require focus, patience, and courage. Suddenly, the bunker shook violently, alarms blaring from makeshift sensors. The aliens had detected unusual energy patterns. Ryland knew they had little time. He grabbed a portable energy device he had begun constructing. Using the artifact's principles, it was small, but could bend energy in short bursts, enough to fend off an approaching patrol. He handed weapons to the soldiers, telling them to stay close, ready to fight or hide. The first alien patrol broke through the outer doors. Moving with mechanical precision, Ryland activated his device. A pulse of energy rippling outwards, the patrol staggered, shields flickering as gravity shifted around them. Humans fired carefully, hitting when the aliens' patterns faltered. The soldiers fought with desperation, each second a battle for survival. Ryland's mind worked faster than ever, predicting alien movements, adjusting the energy fields. After an intense skirmish, the patrol retreated. But Ryland knew this was only a temporary victory. Each encounter taught him more about alien physics, and he realized that their strength came from predictability, a pattern that humans could learn and exploit. He sketched diagrams feverishly, planning more devices that could bend energy. Time and gravity. Every small discovery brought hope, but also a deepening sense of responsibility. As dawn approached, the city outside remained eerily silent, broken only by the faint hum of distant alien engines. Ryland looked at the glowing artifact, feeling its energy pulse in sync with his heartbeat. He realized that this was not just a weapon, but a key to survival, to fighting back, to turning the tide against an enemy who defied every law humans knew. And somewhere beyond the city, alien eyes watched, calculating, waiting for the moment to strike again. Ryland took a deep breath. Focusing on his work, he made a silent vow that he would master the artifact, that he would uncover every secret hidden in alien physics, that he would use it to protect humanity, even if it meant risking his life. The first strike had been costly, the nights long and dangerous. But now he held the first real hope. The war had only begun, but for the first time, humans had a chance to fight. And maybe, just maybe, to win. The hidden bunker was quiet, the hum of the alien artifact filling the air like a heartbeat. Captain Ryland and his team worked tirelessly, refining the devices they had built to bend energy and gravity. Every small success brought hope, but also tension, for they knew the aliens would not wait long before striking again. Soldiers moved cautiously, eyes scanning every shadow, hearts heavy from the losses they had suffered. Among the survivors was Dr. Vexley, a brilliant scientist who had joined Ryland's team to study alien technology. At first, he seemed loyal, sharing ideas and helping refine devices. Ryland trusted him, believing that human intelligence combined with courage could turn the tide. But deep down, Ryland felt a faint unease, small hints that Vexley sometimes lingered too long by the artifact, observing patterns that seemed unnecessary for their survival. One night, as the team slept in shifts, Ryland woke to a strange glow in the lab. Shadows moved unnaturally, and faint whispers of energy pulsed through the room. He grabbed his weapon and approached slowly. Sensing danger, behind a console, he saw Vexley, hands on the artifact, muttering calculations under his breath. Ryland's heart sank. He realized the truth. Vexley was not loyal. He was trying to communicate the artifact's secrets to the aliens. Before Ryland could react, alarms blared across the bunker, alien sensors detecting unusual energy patterns. Vexley had triggered them, intentionally or not. Alien machines moved rapidly, breaking through barricades, beams of energy slicing through walls. Soldiers scrambled to defend themselves. But chaos erupted instantly. The bunker became a battlefield. Humans fighting against aliens with weapons barely effective against the enemy's shields. Ryland shouted, trying to reach Vexley. "Stop! You don't know what you're doing." But the scientist ignored him, focused entirely on the artifact. Ryland realized there was no time to reason. He activated one of the energy-bending devices, creating a shield around himself and two soldiers. The aliens struck again, beams of distorted energy bending around the shield but not breaking through completely, giving them precious seconds in the chaos. Vexley grabbed a small portion of the artifact. Intending to escape, Ryland lunged, but the scientist was fast, slipping into a secret tunnel that led out of the bunker. "He's gone!" One soldier shouted, panic in his voice. Ryland's mind raced. He had trusted Vexley, counted him as an ally, and now that betrayal could cost them everything. The aliens would learn, and the city would pay the price. Ryland regrouped the remaining soldiers. "We cannot waste time mourning," he said, voice firm, though his heart was heavy. "We must secure the bunker and defend the artifact. The aliens will come for it. And we have to be ready." They fortified the bunker quickly, placing energy traps and shields, using every device they had created. Each pulse of the artifact felt like a warning, a signal that time was running out. Outside, the city was restless. Faint hums of alien patrols moving among the ruins. Ryland knew the betrayal had given them an advantage. The aliens could now predict human tactics in some small way. They had stolen knowledge, but humans still had courage, ingenuity, and unpredictability. Rylan had to use that edge to survive, to turn the betrayal into a lesson, and prepare for the coming storm. Hours later, the first wave of reinforcements attacked, massive machines moving like living beasts. Their weapons bent energy in strange ways, tearing through barricades and buildings. Rylan led his soldiers in defensive maneuvers, using every trick he had learned from the artifact. Small energy pulses bent bullets and debris, creating shields that moved with them. But the aliens adapted quickly, learning patterns with terrifying intelligence. One of Rylan's soldiers, a young recruit named Kale, was struck down by an alien blast. Screaming as he fell, Rylan's heart clenched. But he could not stop. His focus sharpened. Every movement critical. He deployed a gravity distortion field, causing an alien machine to stumble, buying precious time. Energy bent in impossible loops around them. Lights flickering as humans and aliens clashed, the battle was a deadly dance. Every step holding life or death. As night fell, Rylan realized the cost of betrayal. Not just the loss of trust, but lives. The artifact, once a symbol of hope, now felt like a target. Something the aliens wanted more than ever. He made a silent vow. I will stop Vexley. I will protect this artifact, and humanity will survive, no matter the cost. The remaining soldiers nodded, understanding the weight of the mission. Determination replacing fear. From the shadows outside, alien eyes watched, learning, calculating, waiting for the moment to strike again. Rylan knew the coming days would test everything he had learned. His courage and the limits of human ingenuity. Betrayal had shaken them, but it also hardened them. The war was no longer just against aliens, but against the betrayal within. The stakes had never been higher, and survival depended on skill, courage, and the secrets hidden in alien physics. Rylan stood over the artifact, its glow pulsing softly, almost like a heartbeat. He understood something vital. Humans could be betrayed. Humans could be weak. But human courage and intelligence were weapons the aliens could never fully predict. With that thought, he prepared for the next strike, knowing that the war had entered a new, more dangerous stage, and somewhere Vexley moved in the darkness, a shadow of betrayal, guiding alien forces toward humanity's fragile hope. The night was thick with smoke and the faint hum of alien engines. Captain Rylan crouched on the rooftop of a ruined building, artifact in hand, eyes scanning the streets below. For the first time, he felt the weight of possibility. Humans could fight back. They had learned, adapted, and survived, and now it was time to act. The city, though broken, was alive with movement. Human soldiers and civilians taking cover, waiting for a spark of hope. Rylan's plan was daring, risky, but necessary. He had studied the alien patrols, their predictable patterns, and the weaknesses in their energy shields. Using the artifact, he could bend light and gravity in small, controlled areas, creating confusion and openings. He signaled to his team, who understood instantly, a silent nod passing between them. They were ready to strike, ready to defy the impossible. As the first wave of alien machines entered the city, Rylan activated his devices. Pulses of energy bent the air around them, causing alien sensors to flicker and malfunction. Beams of energy misaligned, shields wavering for brief seconds. Enough for human soldiers to advance. Chaos erupted, bullets mixing with energy blasts. Explosions shaking buildings, smoke and dust filled the streets, hiding movements, creating opportunities. Rylan moved through the battlefield, artifact glowing, every step precise. Using small gravitational distortions, he lifted debris to block alien paths, redirecting patrols into traps set by humans. Soldiers followed, inspired by his courage, using every trick and tool they had. Even civilians joined, moving quickly, carrying supplies, aiding in small but crucial ways. The city became a strange battlefield where humans and alien physics collided, creating surreal moments. Suddenly, a massive alien beast appeared, taller than any building, energy radiating off its body in waves that bent the air. Its arrival caused humans to scatter, and soldiers fired desperately. But their weapons had little effect. Raylan studied it, noticing a faint lag in its movements, a small flaw in the way it interacted with reality. He realized this was his chance. Using the artifact, he created a bending field. Slowing the creature's movements just enough to strike, Ryland's team attacked simultaneously, hitting weak points identified through careful observation and quick thinking. The alien beast roared, energy distorting in the air around it. But humans kept advancing. Rayland focused on the artifact, bending light and energy to shield his team. Every pulse of power required precision. One mistake could kill them all. The city around them seemed unreal. Buildings warped slightly, light shifting strangely, as if reality itself had been twisted. Meanwhile, alien patrols adapted quickly, firing energy in unpredictable ways. Ryland's devices bent some beams, but others struck buildings, causing rubble to fall. Soldiers dodged, using the environment, the artifact, and sheer courage to survive. The battle was intense. Every second a fight for life. Every small victory brought hope. Every mistake could be deadly. Humans had never faced anything like this. Yet they endured, learning, adapting, fighting together. Hours passed as the conflict raged. Ryland moved tirelessly, setting energy traps, bending gravity to shield civilians, redirecting alien attacks. Each action changed the battlefield slightly, forcing aliens to adapt again. They had underestimated humans' ingenuity, underestimated courage, underestimated determination. Slowly, humans began gaining the upper hand, small but significant. Alien machines faltered in traps. Patrols hesitated, unsure of the strange energy bending their senses. Finally, Ryland faced the alien commander directly, a massive being with armor shimmering like liquid metal. Its eyes glowed, scanning him, calculating every movement. Ryland focused on the artifact, merging its energy with his knowledge of alien physics. He created a distortion field around the commander, bending light and gravity to confuse it. Each step the commander took seemed slower. Its attacks delayed, giving Ryland openings to strike. Using every trick and device, Ryland led a coordinated strike. Humans firing at the commander, while small gravitational fields twisted its energy. The massive being staggered, its body flashing with distortion. And for the first time, it hesitated. Humans roared in defiance, charging forward with courage and precision. The city itself seemed to rally, rubble and energy combining in strange ways, turning the battlefield into a chaotic but favorable zone for humans. At last, the commander fell, energy dispersing into the air like broken lightning. The remaining alien forces hesitated. Unsure, their leader gone, they retreated cautiously, allowing humans to secure the city temporarily. Ryland stood among his team, artifact glowing softly. Exhaustion mixed with exhilaration. They had turned the tide, not completely, but enough to show that humans could fight, adapt, and survive. As dawn broke, the city was scarred but alive. Humans and soldiers standing among broken buildings and fires. Ryland looked at the rising sun, feeling a surge of hope. He knew the aliens would return, stronger and smarter, but humanity had learned. They had courage, intelligence, and the ability to defy what seemed impossible. For the first time, the war felt winnable, and Ryland knew that the coming battles would test them further. He made a silent vow to the fallen, to the survivors, to humanity itself. The next strike would be decisive, and he would be ready, using alien physics, human ingenuity, and sheer will. He would continue to fight, continue to survive. And somewhere beyond the city, alien eyes observed, learning, planning, preparing for the next battle. But for now, the humans had hope. And hope was a dangerous weapon the aliens had never anticipated. The horizon burned with the glow of alien ships, massive and countless, stretching across the sky like a living storm. Captain Ryland stood on the highest rooftop of the ruined city, artifact in hand, surveying the approaching fleet. He felt the weight of the world on his shoulders, the hopes of humanity resting on his courage and knowledge. Behind him, the remaining human soldiers gathered, eyes filled with fear, but also unwavering determination. Ryland had spent months studying alien physics, mastering the artifact and preparing for this moment. Every device they had built, every plan they had devised, led to this confrontation. The alien fleet moved with terrifying precision, energy shields glowing, weapons ready to incinerate everything in sight. Humans fired their last lines of defense, bullets and explosives barely scratching the surface. But Ryland had something more. A weapon of cunning and ingenuity. He activated the artifact, feeling its energy pulse through him, merging with his thoughts. Time and space seemed to bend slightly around the city, creating distortions, small pockets where gravity shifted. Alien sensors faltered. Beams of alien energy bent unpredictably, ricocheting and losing power. Giving humans critical openings, soldiers advanced cautiously, using these distortions as cover, each step measured, each action a calculated risk. Suddenly, a massive alien warship descended, larger than any Ryland had seen, its body shimmering, energy radiating in waves that bent reality. Its weapons fired, tearing through the city streets, collapsing buildings and scattering debris. Ryland focused, bending light and energy with the artifact to shield humans. The ground shook as soldiers fired from cover, explosives detonating, energy pulses twisting unpredictably. The battlefield a chaotic storm of human courage and alien physics. Ryland realized the alien fleet's strength lay in coordination, and he had to disrupt it, using the artifact. He created a series of energy distortions across the city, confusing their sensors, bending gravity to redirect smaller ships into collisions. Chaos erupted among the aliens, their precise attacks faltering, giving humans a rare advantage. They pressed forward, every move dangerous, every action critical. But hope surged in their hearts. From above, the alien commander appeared, massive and glowing with pulsing energy, its eyes scanning the battlefield, calculating, predicting. Ryland knew this was the final test, the culmination of everything he had learned. He activated the artifact fully, merging it with all the devices they had built, creating a massive field that bent light, gravity, and energy. The air shimmered. Buildings twisted slightly, and for the first time, the aliens faltered visibly. Unsure of reality itself, Ryland led the charge, moving through the battlefield, soldiers following his lead, energy fields protecting them from alien fire. They targeted the commander, exploiting the small distortions Ryland created. Each strike precise, timed perfectly, energy bending unpredictably around them. The commander roared, beams of energy twisting and failing, its shields flickering, the city around them warping slightly. Humans and aliens locked in a deadly dance, physics itself bending to Ryland's will. Hours passed as the battle raged, human courage meeting alien strength in a chaotic symphony. Ryland moved relentlessly, artifact glowing brighter, every pulse reshaping the battlefield. Soldiers pushed forward, civilians aiding where they could, explosives detonating, small energy pulses bending reality. Finally, The alien commander faltered, massive energy surging uncontrollably. Creating cracks in its armor, Rylan seized the moment, combining all energy fields into a single focused strike-the-strike hit. The commander's screaming as energy tore through it, reality bending violently around the impact. Alien machines faltered, smaller ships losing coordination. Humans pressing the advantage. Slowly, the alien fleet began to retreat, confusion and fear spreading among them. Their precision shattered, their energy unpredictable. Humans and the artifact had turned the tide completely, for the first time in history. Victory felt possible. Rylan stood amidst the battlefield, exhaustion and exhilaration flooding him. Around him, human soldiers cheered, some crying, others hugging each other. The city still burning but alive, the artifact pulsed softly. As if acknowledging their triumph, the aliens had been defeated. But the war had changed everything. Humans had discovered courage beyond measure, intelligence beyond expectation, and the power to defy even alien physics as dawn broke fully, casting light over the ruined but surviving city. Rylan looked at the horizon, knowing this victory was hard-won and fragile. He made a silent vow: humanity would rebuild, adapt, and never be underestimated again. The artifact, glowing faintly, remained in his hands, a symbol of hope, ingenuity, and resilience. Beyond the city, alien eyes still observed. But for now, Asterisk humans had proven they could fight, survive, and win against the impossible Rylan.